Knit Snacks. I live in Southwest Ohio and I'd love to share my knitting with you today. Today I'm going to be talking about all the things that I finished in 2022 and what I think I'm going to work on for 2023. And I'm also going to show you the whips that I have going on right now. Some of those have to get finished in 2023. Some of them, when they get done, they get done. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with the first thing that I finished in 2022. I actually cast it on, let me start off with this. So this is a notebook. I'm awful about tracking things. It is not me, but this is really handy on keeping track of everything. And I'm really impressed because there's only one thing that is not in here. So I'm pretty pleased with how I did this year. I'm going to continue it in 2023. I finished, did I get halfway through the book? Oh no. I probably can use this for another 2 years. So I'm going to continue using this until it's full. But I showed this in another episode on a tip episode, and I will try to link that someplace around here maybe. Anyway, I basically put, this is a good example. I put all of the information about the project in here, and if I have yarn samples, maybe from where I wind the yarn, sometimes that yarn gets used to tie the hank, and if I use that, if there is any leftover yarn, I'll put little samples in here so that I know what color I used in there. I list the color names, the yarn, did I put the, oh yeah, I did. Needles, I didn't do a gauge for this because it's a wrap or a shawl. I didn't feel like that was necessary for this particular project, but for something like a sweater it would be. And I would put that on there. So this is how I kept track this year of what I was doing. And this is how I'm going to show them to you in the order that they were cast on. Anyway, I'm trying to think here. There was, I hate it when that happens. There was something else I was going to tell you guys, and now I can't. Oh, I know what it was. So if things look a little differently around here, I actually got a Christmas present. I got some really nice lights because, oh my goodness, our house was built in the 20s, and I am constantly fighting light here because I have we are now in winter in Ohio, and winter in Ohio means lots of overcast days, so I'm super excited to have these lights. I actually can light things and be able, I did a couple test things and things actually look like they're supposed to, and I'm really excited about that. That's one of the things that's really bothered me, even with some of my Instagram shots or with these videos. The lighting's always been super dark, and I'm not against dark, but when you're trying to show something, you want it to look like it actually looks like in person. And what I saw earlier, it looks like the colors were true to what they are in person. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and go over the things that I have finished in 2022. We're going to do this by cast on order. So these were finished. I'm going to show you these guys. They're called Flower Crown. They're by Lindsay Fowler or Larkspur Knits. And these I finished, I want to say in November, but they have been sitting on my needles since I finished them about 13 months after I cast them on. Part of the reason for that had nothing to do with the pattern, but it had everything to do with the knitting method that I was using, because I was using 9-inch circulars, and I have found that I absolutely love flexi flips and Haya flyers, or any sort of 3-needle floppy double pointed needle kind of thing that probably most of you can't stand. I've ran into everybody tells me how much they hate them. I absolutely love them. They fix everything that I don't like about double pointed needles, that I don't like about a 9-inch circular, and that I don't like about magic loop. And there are very specific things that I don't like about each of those, but out of the 3 of them, 9-inch circulars were the ones that I liked the best. And I can go into that in another video. I'm not going to. Anyway, these are the flower crown socks. They are made from Leading Men Fiber Arts, and I believe the colorway is Bent Neck Woman, or Bent Neck Lady. I'll have to look it up. I'll put all the project links for these down in the description box. Oh, I don't think I've ever shown my sock blockers, and I don't know that you can even get them now. Anyway, they're wood, and a little tidbit, if you can see on here, there are dandelions. I absolutely love dandelions. Everybody considers them a weed, but it's all in your perspective, because kids don't see them as a weed. Kids see them as wish makers and all kinds of things. And I think everything is about perspective, and I love dandelions. I honestly don't even care if they're in my yard. I really don't. I think grass is an unnecessary evil of suburbia. We're not going to get into that. Anyway, I'm probably going to get comments down below about that. So anyway, I finished these socks in November, but I cast them on like either the September, right after the wool gathering in 2021. I cast them on sometime after the wool gathering in 2021, because that's when I bought this yarn. I don't know if it was later in September or if it was in October. I'd have to look and see, but I love these. I opted not to do the little picot edging at the top. It's not me. This is going to sound awful. I don't like dangly bits on my things. And I absolutely love this crisscross pattern. I haven't had a chance to wear these yet because it's cold in Ohio, but these will be great summer socks when the time comes to wear them. So the next thing that I cast on was December 1st, and I cast on a Advent that I had purchased. Let me see here. It was a 2019 yarn calendar from Cornbread and Honey. And I cast it on December 1st because I wanted to work on it like you would a normal yarn calendar for, say, the month of December or whatever month you're getting one. And this is my, it's called Radvent Cardigan by Amba O'Brien. This is my Radvent. Actually, I'm going to turn it around. So you saw this side already. This is the back. Okay, hold on. This is the back, and then this is the other sleeve. And has 3 tiny little buttonholes down here. I opted for some very low-key buttons that are kind of I think they're horn, they're a natural button. And I added it with a brown mohair that I was going to use on its own. I think I've talked about this prior when I showed you guys this. I was going to use the brown mohair on its own for it wasn't a cumulus blouse, but it was something like the cumulus blouse. And I could not knit with it because I had 2 people, my husband and my best friend, ask me what I was knitting with because they thought it was human hair. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I can't do that. But I found this set. It's amazing with this set. I love the color that it adds to it. And I'm really happy that I kept the yarn so that I could use it. It was a Knit Picks Mongoose colorway. I don't think they sell it anymore. So that was the next item that I finished. And then the next item, let's see, my next My next cast on was my Oban cardigan, and that was for, I wanted a cable sweater. I've wanted like a super cozy kind of grandpa cable sweater. I've shown this one before also. This isn't going to be anything new. A lot of these first items are going to be things, if you've watched before, they're going to be things that you've seen before. So this is my Oban cardigan. It has these great great cables down the sleeves. And then the back have these amazing cables, and then, yes, in my hair, it has this great shawl collar. So I absolutely oh, and the buttons on it are over here. I've shown these before. They're large clay buttons, and they have kind of like a fern leaf stamped in them. I thought about getting leather braided buttons like you would see on kind of a grandpa sweater, but I opted not to do that. I wanted something a little bit different because I'm always just a little bit different, and that's okay. So that's what I opted for on this guy. Anyway, so that's this one. And I have to tell you, it's a longer sweater. It comes probably down to mid-thigh. The sleeves come down to like here on me. Honestly, it probably is a little too big, but I absolutely love how oversized and huge it is. If you were a kid that grew up in the late 80s, early 90s, you probably remember the trend of leggings with sweatshirts to your mid-thigh, or sweaters, or, you know, whatever. That's really what this sweater reminds me of. And so I love wearing it like with, I have some pants from Land's End. They're called starfish pants. They're not as tight as a yoga pant. And probably if you wore the right things with them, they probably would look a little dressed up. But they're just a knit casual pant, and they're super comfortable, and they're a great alternative that looks a little nicer than sweatpants. But I love wearing the sweater with those because it's got kind of that nostalgia 90s vibe to them. So anyway, let's see. That's my Oban cardigan, and that actually ended up being my Rhinebeck sweater. I finished that May 15th, and I cast it on January 1st. And I have to say, January, February, March, April, 4.5 months for its worsted weight yarn, and it's cable, and it's almost cabling all over. I was really, really pleased with how well, how fast I was able to knit it up. I was super, super happy with that. So that ended up being my Rhinebeck cardigan, because the one that I wanted to wear for Rhinebeck, it was not getting done, and it was going to take me longer. And I thought, well, I have this guy, and I hadn't worn it because I finished it in May. And there is no earthly way you're going to wear a worsted weight sweater anytime in Ohio in May, June, July, August, and probably September. And even in October, it was a little warm for it. I only wore it half of Rhinebeck. I actually ended up wearing this part of the time. So I'll put this down below. This is an amazing pattern. It's from Thea Coleman. The next thing, so I'm still working on a temperature blanket for my younger daughter. She graduated this last May. It was supposed to be for her, covering her senior year. It's going to take me a while. It takes me 15 minutes a row, I think it is. And then I have every row I have ends to weave in. So I have, it's kind of like eating an elephant, and I'm just slowly, a little bit at a time, working on getting it done. Let's see here. The next thing, I think the next thing I have is this, which I cast on March 12th. And yes, it looks very loved and worn, because it is. Cast it on March 12th, and I finished it March 28th. This is a held together hat by Lindsay Fowler of Larkspur Knits. And I knit this for my husband because he doesn't have hair, and when you don't have hair, you get cold. So this is a super great, it's super stretchy because it's ribbed, and it's a great hat. He wears it around the house. He wears it all the time. As you can tell based on what it looks like, it's a tweed yarn, but it is well loved. He absolutely wears this all the time. So I'm super glad I could make that for him. It's really cute because if you can see here, I held this with a pale, I think it's a pale gray. So it just gives, it almost has like a, reminds me of like the striped athletic socks, or it has a really cool athletic feel to it. So that's the next thing. The next thing I actually bought, we went to, myself and two ladies in our knit group went to a knitting retreat in February, and we all got the same kit and said, oh, we're going to make the festive wrap from Amba O'Brien. And all three of us bought, so we bought the kit that we needed, but then we had to buy another full skein to make up some yardage that wasn't in the kit, which it worked out fine. They all turned out really cool. Anyway, I got it and cast it on March 28th and finished it June 27th. I think I've shown it here also, but I wanted to show it one more time because, again, these are all done in 2022. So this is the first half of it, and this is the back half of it. This one went to fair along with my Oban cardigan, and there's some more. And anyway, I love this. I have not had a chance to wear it because to me it's more spring colors than anything else. So I probably will wear this a lot more come spring. Let's try not to catch anything on fire. Let's see. Next thing. Let me turn the page and see what was next. Oh, so the next thing, April 2nd, I decided to go ahead and cast on a Metropolis sweater for my older daughter. I'm going to put a picture right here because I don't have it anymore. She actually I gave it to her for before Rhinebeck, and she wore it to Rhinebeck. So I'll put a picture there. It's a beautiful color on her. She looks amazing. The next thing were a pair of Journey socks, and I actually don't have those socks because they were too small for me. I gave them to one of the ladies in knit group. I basically took them to knit group and said, who can wear these? Because I can't. They were 2 sizes too small, maybe. They were tiny. They did not work. The next thing, so one of the things I did this year, I participated in summer sock camp from the Crazy Sock Lady sponsors. And one of the reasons that I did that is because I absolutely love knitting socks, but I have had a difficult time finding a method that works for me. So this year, my goal was to try to add more socks to my sock drawer and try things that I normally wouldn't try, and try sock knitting methods that I normally wouldn't try. One of the ways that I did that is I got a pair of, I think they were the Flexi Flips, when we went down to Kentucky Sheep and Wool as a knit group. And down at Kentucky Sheep, on our way, we planned a yarn crawl all the way down through Cincinnati, which Cincinnati has some amazing yarn stores if you're ever there. I found some, I think it was Flexi Flips, I think. Anyway, I went ahead and picked up a set for what I thought I needed. And I was really kind of worried about doing this because I had had so many people tell me I can't stand them, don't waste your money. And I was like, yeah, but I hate how double pointed needles don't bend in the middle. And I don't really like, well, and when it comes to like magic loop, I don't like the strain that the little loops on either side put on my project, because I always end up with a weird spot where the loops are. And then 9-inch circulars, the needle part is so short, sometimes I get hand cramps. And I'm like, I feel like those would fix all the problems, but everybody kept saying, Well, when we did the yarn crawl, I think it was in May, it's whenever Kentucky sheep and wool is. When we did that, we went to a store that had, I think it was Flexi Flips, and I got a set and I was sold. I was like, this is absolutely, this solves all the problems that I've had with sock knitting. And I absolutely not that I didn't like sock knitting before, but I absolutely love sock knitting now. So, I have a friend that has a couple friends that live outside of town, and we were all together with our knit group, over Memorial Day weekend. And, one of her friends was saying, oh yeah, I couldn't stand them. I have a whole bunch. Would you like them? Yeah, but like, let me pay you. She went ahead and mailed them to me. This is what I love about the knitting community. She's like, you know what? I don't want these anymore. You love them. You can have them. She sent me, I think, 5 pairs or 6 pairs. And I am so over the moon thrilled. It's great because now I can knit fingering and DK weight socks with, Flexi Flips or Hiya Flyers. She had both. And it's amazing. I love it. So one of the other things that I did this year, when summer sock camp rolled around, I wanted to kind of explore getting a better fitting sock and also finding ways to speed up my sock knitting. So the Flexi Flips and Hiya Flyers helped with speeding up my knitting. But also I fell in love with DK weight socks, which you may or may not like, and that's a personal preference. But I absolutely love the DK weight socks, especially for winter that I made. When my feet get cold, the rest of me is freezing. So having DK weight socks, especially in the winter, is great. And then conversely, if my feet are hot, then I'm burning up. And so my fingering weight socks are pretty much only for spring and fall, but I did find shortie socks, which really add to my ability to wear socks even in the summer. Wool's very breathable, so that's not a problem. Anyway, this is a lot about summer sock camp. Sorry, I learned so much this year. I also learned that 72 stitches is what I thought I should be making in socks, and 64 is actually what fits my foot better. I wear a women's size 11, and I thought for sure 72 is the right way to go. And a couple pair of the socks that I made were a little too big, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a 64 stitch because the Hiya, with the new way of knitting that I'm using, it makes it easier for me to knit faster so I can try new things and I don't feel like I'm wasting my time or losing out on having a pair of socks that may or may not fit. Well, 64 stitch actually fit me better than the 72. So that's exciting too. Anyway, all this to say, this is the year of socks for me. So, first pair of summer sock camp socks are these beauties. I absolutely love these. These are, fiber seed and Pretty Twisted yarns. And this is the Rainbow Connection sock pattern from the Crazy Sock Lady. And these I absolutely love because they remind me of Light Brights. I call them my Light Bright socks because that's what they look like to me. Anyway, so this is a super fun pattern. I encourage you to go check it out if you haven't knit any of the Crazy Sock Lady's sock patterns. This one is a fun one. It looks complicated and it's not. The next pair that I knit, this was out of DK weight. These are, here we go. These are a scrappy, stripy sock. And I am, oh my gosh, my hair is all over the place. I am a huge lover of the national park, so I absolutely loved her theme this year for summer sock camp. And these went together amazingly. I was so happy to have these colors to go together. And I absolutely love these socks. I wear them around the house sometimes, but I don't wear them around so much. I usually wear them with shoes or at least with something on my feet. We have hardwood floors, so it doesn't take much to pick a pair of socks and get a pull in them. So I try to have something protective on the bottom of my feet. Shout out to Johnny Bo of Johnny Bo Dyes and Aquila from the Lefty Knitter podcast for introducing me to Crocs. I don't have them in here, but I have a pair of Aqua Croc slides that are my house shoes. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. So, now my next pair of socks, also DK weight. Let me see here. So these are DK weight. The pattern is a converted pattern from the Morning Coffee socks from the Crazy Sock Lady. She wrote her pattern for fingering weight. I converted it to DK weight because I wanted some DK weight socks. And this is Beachy Breeze Fibers Autumn Berries, and I absolutely love these. So that's my next pair of socks I'm showing you are my socks, but I knit a pair for my husband's coworker, and they are a shorty sock rather than a tall sock. They are it's a Wonder Woman yarn from Turtle Pearl. It's a self-striping yarn, and then I did a toe up with the heel toe do-si-do so that the heel toe do-si-do pattern, I'll show you real quick. You can see that. So the heel toe do-si-do pattern has the W for Wonder Woman. Anyway, my husband's coworker is an absolute, she loves Wonder Woman, and her socks were shorty socks. They stopped about right here. And my husband said that she loved them. I never heard if they fit. I hope they fit her. If not, I don't know. Maybe she's too embarrassed to say they don't fit and she didn't want me to fix them. I don't know. Sometimes things are awkward and they don't need to be. But anyway, I absolutely love these. This is a super fun pattern as well. If you've never done Crazy Sock Lady's heel toe do-si-do, I encourage you to check it out. And then my last pair from Summer Sock Camp, this was actually, these are a pattern from one of the ladies in our knit group, and they are super comfortable and super cute. And I'm going to show you like this because they're shorty. You can tell they're shorty socks. Anyway, the one thing that I absolutely love about these is this color work. They're called Get a Grip Shorties. And this color work causes the sock to support and suck in right on your arch, which sometimes I have tired feet and that it's like giving your foot a little hug and it feels so good. This down here, as you can tell, not tied at all. These are actually done with scraps. I have another pair of socks that I made out of this color. And then all of these colors for the stripes and for the toe are all leftovers from that pair of socks. And I think I still have a little bit of these left and maybe just a teeny bit of this left. Not enough to do another pair of socks though. But I absolutely love these socks. I would check that pattern out as well. I absolutely love the support that you get from this little bit of cinched in on your foot. So the next thing that I have to show you, this is a pile, right? Okay, next thing I have to show you is this Bolton Pass hat. And this thing is super floppy and huge, and I'm sure there are people out there that would not particularly care for the way that it is made. I absolutely love it because it is so floppy. It means like if I curl my hair or I do anything with it, then it's not going to like flatten or suction it in, or, you know. And this is one that I made to go with my dress coat. So it's Angora, and the Angora is held together with a merino, and I wanted something that would look nice with my dress coat, and I think this looks amazing with my dress coat. So that's that. And the next thing I have to show you is this held together hat. It's the same pattern that I showed you before. The pattern calls for you to hold fingering weight together, 2 strands together, and then you alternate. So you have a contrast color 1 and a contrast color 2, and it gives a marled effect. Well, I wanted to do a DK weight, and if you hold fingering together, it's very close to a DK weight. That's what I did. I modified the pattern to do that. I don't follow rules really well when it comes to things like knitting or just things like that. I'm a rule follower. Don't get me wrong. I'm a rule follower. But when it comes to creative stuff like this, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a suggestion. I'm just going to go over here and do my own thing. I kind of do the same thing with cooking. Sometimes I regret it. Sometimes I don't. But I love the way this turned out. I got this, so the Festive wrap, the same time I got the yarn for the Festive wrap, Fiber Seed was also there. And this is Fiber Seed DK weight yarn, and I got this yarn to make a hat in February. Well, I think I made this in, I want to say maybe November. Like, it was getting to the point where I was like, ugh, I really need to get that done, because I knew where I needed a few more hats. I keep a hat in my car. I keep mittens in my car. I have a box of winter wear by the back door. So I just needed another hat or 2 to throw in there. And this one fit the bill. So I absolutely love it. I love the way that it turned out. One of the new things that I started doing this year, I bought tags for all of my knitwear garments, and I have a few things that I still need to get tags on, like my Oban Cardigan does not have one. But hopefully that focuses on that. It says hand knit by Leah, and the other one, this is the back side of it. And I love these. I will try to put the link down below for where I got these. I think it's that extra special something. And I have, yes, my last knit that I have to show you is actually a gift knit. And I'm hoping to get that to her later today, maybe, if she's in at work. But anyway, I love being able to put on there, hey, I made this, or I made this for you, and this is how you take care of it. So that's this hat. And then the next thing I did was an Advent cowl. So in 2021, I got the Sweet Sparrow Knits Advent, or countdown box, and she called it an Advent. I don't like to open Advents or countdown boxes and immediately start using them. I want to see what the whole color palette is to decide how I'm going to use them. So this year I got a Ducky Darlings countdown box and a Yarn Ink countdown box. I've not decided what I'm going to do with those. it'll be a bit before I decide, but once I do decide, I'll let you guys know. So this Sweet Sparrow yarn countdown box that I got last year, a couple of the ladies in knit group were making the Wolop cowl, but they had modified it, and I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. I like the way that was modified. And then the Stephen West mystery knit along came along, and I think that's what it was. It was either last year or this year's mystery knit along. It was a Stephen West project. I know that for sure. Came along, and I thought, oh, that's a really cool stitch. But because I'm not a rule follower, I had to go break the rules. Anyway, I had to go and modify the Wolop cowl pattern to get what I wanted. So that's what this is. This is a Wolop cowl that is heavily modified. I didn't use the same number of cast on stitches. I used the Wolop cowl pattern to give me an idea of how many to start with. And that's about all I used. Anyway, so this is Sweet Sparrow Knits, and this is her yarn from last year, from 2021. And I love what she did with her yarn because all of these yarns are a little different. Like these are tweeds. Actually, this is like her regular yarn. This one has sparkle in it. Trying to look to see. Yeah, so she has sparkles, she had tweeds, she had a regular, I guess, sock yarn. And then the other one that she put in there was a yak base. I actually pulled the yak base because I didn't want to use it in this because I have a special affection for yak yarn, and I have a couple of skeins, and the colors that she had in her, in this countdown box went really well with another full skein that I had, and I'm actually going to make some scrappy stripey socks with the yak minis that I got from her, and then another base from another dyer. And I'm super excited about those because I absolutely love yak yarn, and these colors go so well together. So this is my pattern. So let me show you how I did this a little differently. So first off, I did eyelet rows. If you look, there are 4 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a crisscross section. And this one and this one, I did just an eyelet row. And then this one, which is the middle, I did a purl row, and then the eyelet row, and then a purl row. And then down here, in between these 4 sections of color, I did this crisscross pattern, and this was the full skein that I got with this mini set, which is why it goes so well together. So I still have a bunch of this left. I'll probably make a pair of socks with it. It's such a pretty color, and if I can find a green to go with it, it will make an amazing set of Christmas socks. So I'm super excited about this. This actually, I have this and this that I wear together with my dress coat, and I think that they look amazing together. I got that finished for Christmas Eve because I wore it for Christmas Eve. That was my goal, was to have it done. And then the next project that I finished, so the next one, I did a holiday doodle cowl for my Secret Santa at work. I don't have it because I've already given it to her. I did take a picture, so I'll put the picture right here. And then the next item was, like I said, the year of socks. Let's see, Lolo Did It, yarn dyer, had what she called the weekend sock challenge. Well, as I mentioned already, I have big feet, and I thought, are you kidding me? There's no way. I got started late because I didn't see the post in time to start on time, which is fine. I set my own goal of finishing a pair of socks within what would be a weekend. I started mine, I think it was supposed to be Friday at sundown to Sunday at sundown. I didn't see it until Saturday, just a little bit before, like maybe Saturday late afternoon. I thought that's fine. I'll start 24 hours late and I'll get them done by Monday at sundown. So not within the challenge window that she was giving everybody, specifically those days, but in the challenge window time frame, if that makes any sense. Basically, I was going from sundown to sundown 24 hours later than she was saying to do it. So she put out a pattern that said, she said, hey, this pattern would be great for this. It's called the 4-hour socks. And I thought, okay, well, that's perfect. And I have this amazing shortie cat, BFL, that it's a blue-faced Leicester that I would love to make. It was set aside for socks anyway. And I thought, well, this is the perfect time. She can tell I've worn them a lot already. Anyway, I went ahead and I accepted the challenge, and I actually would have finished them if I had not had something going on that Monday night. I was really, really close. Her 4-hour sock pattern basically looks like a pair of regular shorties. So it's a regular band up here, and then you go down into the regular sock. I opted to make mine a little differently because I don't follow the rules. Patterns are just suggestions, right? I went ahead and did a little short cuff on them with ribbing. So they just come up over my ankle, which keeps me warm, as crazy as that is to say. But that's how I regulate my temperature. And I love these socks as long as it's not super, super cold. They're perfect. I know they're short, but they're what I like to wear. So I love these socks. They're so pretty. And I don't think I have enough to do another pair. They'll be scraps, or they'll be folded into maybe a stripey sock or something. So the last thing that I have is actually, the last thing that I have is a slouch potato hat. And we have a new kitty in the house, and he has... This is the last knit that I have. This is my last make of 2022. It is a slouch potato hat. It is made out of Farmer's Daughter and yarn. It's a Rambouillet. No, buddy. Come on. It's a Rambouillet yarn, and I made this for a very special lady in my life. She's a dear friend. I've known her since my kids were born. And this is, again, heavily modified by accident. My dad had a medical emergency, and he's doing fine now, much better at least. But he was in the hospital, and I was worried about him, and I was trying to knit this, and I missed part of the... Sorry about the noise. It's the cat on the stool. I missed part of the pattern instructions. This still fits her really well. And I had her try it on to make sure that it fit and it wasn't too tight, because she said that tight things don't work for her, and she said it fits amazing. So I can't wait to give it to her. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it to her today or if it's going to be next week, but I'm super excited to get that to her. So that's the last make. Okay, dude. Okay. You're not making this easy. I think I'm going to have to like shut the door. Give me a minute here. Okay. I am back. Hemingway is not in here right now because I won't be able to get anything done because he wants to sit in my lap and have him love me. And I just, or have him get all the lovings from me. I just need to get through this real fast. So I wanted to show you a couple of my whips. I think this is my oldest whip right now, except for one sock that I haven't finished. I want to get this done soon because I do want to wear this come summer. It is a Cercis sweater. There's the front. It is made out of a bamboo yarn that I don't remember, I think. Hold on. Yeah, it's a bamboo yarn, Lion Brand Trubu. I love this color. Interestingly enough, a very similar color to my Bolton Pass hat. Like, very, very similar color. In fact, here. Very similar color. Anyway, I love all things pink and berry and wine, those kind of ready pink colors. I want to get this finished. I had to take a break from it because it felt like it was a slog. So that's on the needles right now. And then the next thing, the next oldest whip that I have is, again, this has been shown here also. It is my, if I can find the front of it, there we go. Sea glass sweater, which I don't think I'm going to get this done to wear this winter. I might. I don't know. We'll have to see. I absolutely love it. I'm getting really close down here at the bottom to being ready to do like hem and that sort of thing. Part of the reason that I haven't done anything with it is because I don't have this much of this yarn. This is Miss Bab's Big Silk, and I think I have enough because I thought I had enough for a full sweater, but I am not 100% sure. So I actually today I just ordered some yarn from Miss Bab's, and it's a slightly different color. I'm hoping when it comes it works well with this gray, and that is what I will use for the hem, the cuffs, and the button band. And I think it'll be fine. I actually got something a little different. I got DK weight and a mohair to hold together to give it a little floof. I think it's going to be an interesting texture for it. So I'm super excited about that. I want this sweater done too. But again, I want to make sure that it works when it's time. And I'm actually, it's going to be a, I'm steeking the front to make a cardigan. I've discovered that cardigans work way better for me than a pullover sweater. And let me go on to the next whip that I've got going on right now. So this next whip is, it's not very big right now, but it's this long. Anyway, this whip is a, let's see, let me see if I can show you. Here we go. There we go. This is a whip that I am working on. I have a family member who is having a baby. Her baby shower is actually tomorrow. We will find out whether it's a boy or a girl. And I'm sure not everybody will agree, but to me, I like bright gender neutral. And to me, this is bright gender neutral. I know some people wouldn't agree with me, but that's okay. Hopefully my niece likes it. She's the one having the baby. but it's got a lot of blues and greens and pinks and purples, so hopefully it's an okay color if she's having a boy or a girl. This is kind of reminiscent of a bounce blanket. That's what I used as an inspiration. I actually got a book for my Secret Santa at work this year with knitting pattern, like stitch. It's a 400 knit stitch designs, meaning it's just the knit. I'll put a picture of it here because I'm doing a horrible job of telling you what it is. Anyway, it's 400 knit stitches, and I kind of looked at the bounce blanket and found a similar stitch that I liked. It might be the one they use in there, I'm not sure. But that's what I've done here. And then in between, I'm using a gray as a divider. And this is out of worsted weight yarn. And it's all acrylic because I usually do that for babies because I don't want moms to have to worry about how to wash stuff. Let's see. One of the other projects that I have going on. Okay. One of the other projects that I have going on, I started, this is from our Knit Night Countdown Advent swap thing. And I started this as a Cozy Memories or Coziest Memories. And I realize now that the way these squares are made, because it's back and forth, and the construction, that later, and I don't want to give too much away because I think this is I don't know if this is paid pattern or not. Anyway, because of the way this is made, I don't want to, I know that I know me, and I know that when it gets further and I get more rows down here and this gets bigger, that I'm going to be really aggravated flipping these back and forth because it's worked back and forth. That's going to be super annoying to me. I'm going to hate it, and then I will stop it. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to knit 8 squares total, so 2 more. And then when I get done with those 2 additional mitered squares, then I am going to pick up a row, which this is the back. Yep, okay. Have to look at it for a minute. I can tell when I look at it, but I have to look at it. So this is the top. So I will add 2 more out here, and then I will pick up all the stitches along the top of these. And then I will start knitting back and forth along the whole top, not in an eyelet stitch, but something along the lines of the habitation throw, but not at a diagonal. And actually what I'm doing, and I've actually wanted something like this for a while, so this is super cool that I get to do it this way. I am actually going to knit it like that in rows, and then I'm going to use it like a pennant or a thing. I'll say a thing. And I have tons of pins and just all kinds of things that I would love to hang on something, but I don't have anything to hang them on. Well, that's what this is going to be, is I'm going to hang them on here. So I will be super excited to show you guys this project when I get done with it. It's way fun because I get to look at these and know that, like, I know who gave us this yarn, and that was mine, and I know who gave us this one, and this was my yarn that I included to make sure that I had enough. And I know, like, I can look at all of these yarns and know, oh gosh, I know who gave me this one. So it's super special. So along those same lines, I have a friend that I met at Yellow Springs for the wool gathering last year. And I sent a couple friends, actually. Sorry. Crinkly things. I know some people have problems with that. Anyway, I sent my 2 sets of friends, it's 2 couples. I sent them some gifts, not expecting anything back, and they were thrilled, which is great. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed them because I enjoyed sending them to you. But one of them, actually Cercis, I hope she doesn't mind if I name her off in this. Cercis sent me a package back. I wasn't expecting anything. I was really surprised. But she sent me this and this and this. And I am super, super excited about this because these guys are going to go into that thing that I was just telling you about with my Advent yarn, because I think that that's a great way to commemorate my knitting friendships that I have. And then I have a little bit of yarn that Johnny Bow dyed. I think I have some left. If I know I have yarn that he dyed. I'm going to find some of that. I'm also going to incorporate it into that, because for whatever reason, I just have a connection with them. They are the sweetest people. All 4 of them. Cercis and Dan and Aquila and Johnny and Hazel. Anyway, adore them. I wish, like, Cercis and Dan don't live that far from me. I wish Baltimore was closer. Anyway, so with the package that Cercis sent me, she sent chocolate, because who doesn't love chocolate? I can't wait to find, actually, you know what? We're going to try one of these. This is a Linder Truffle. I tried to look online to see what flavor this was, because I know depending on what color the packaging is, depends on what kind of Linder Truffle it is. I couldn't find this one. I suspect it's probably white chocolate, but I'm not sure. We'll see. So, sorry about the crinkly packaging. Oh, okay. Nope, it's milk chocolate. Anyway, so it's Linder Truffle with little snowmen on it. Milk chocolate on the outside and white chocolate on the inside. It tastes amazing. It's too early for candy, but I'm okay with this. Okay, the last thing that Cercis sent me, which I am beyond thrilled over. This is the most adorable thing ever. We haven't put our Christmas ornaments yet, and I need to go put it down in our Christmas ornament box because they haven't been put away yet. It's this Christmas ornament, and if you can see that, it is a little flat ornament, and it has little skeins of yarn in it, and it is adorable. This is like the best thing ever. Thank you, Cercis. So, the other thing that I was going to tell you guys about, 2 things. I have 2 more things. One of them is, I think the shop's name is La Mercarie. I think I will put their information down below. They did a Christmas sock yarn swap. Think if you did fiber share or anything like that, kind of like that, you just swap 100 grams of sock yarn, and the idea is that you can make a new friend, which I was thrilled with. I met a new lady. She lives in Phoenix, I think. Let me make sure. Yep, Phoenix. I knew it was Arizona. She lives in Phoenix. She is super sweet. It was so nice to chat with her. We've connected on Instagram a little bit. Anyway, this was a sock yarn swap, and she sent me a couple. Hold on. She sent me a couple things of hot chocolate, which were already at work, because sometimes I'm at work and I want something a little sweet, and hot chocolate fills that for me. So I'm super excited to try that. She sent La Molienda milk candy, Gloria's, which I am not familiar with this. I'm sure our stores here have this. I don't usually venture into candies in the Mexican, Latin, and Hispanic stores. Just I don't know why. We do go to those stores to get certain things, but I just haven't. I don't know why. Anyway, this has goat milk, pecan, corn syrup, butter, and sodium bicarbonate, which this is really intriguing to me. So I can't wait to try this. I'm not going to try this today because, yeah, I've already had a piece of chocolate, and that's enough. But I will try this another time on here because I can't wait to find out what this tastes like. The milk and pecans, and it's hard, but it feels like Play-Doh. So I'm excited to try it. I'm gonna put that baby right there. The other thing that she sent me, which just I can't wait for this. This is raspberry chipotle jelly. One of the things that we like to do here, I will get red pepper jelly and put it over cream cheese. And she said that that's exactly what you do with this. But raspberry chipotle sounds amazing. A little sweet and a little spicy and maybe a little smoky. I think, yeah, I'm excited for this. I will let you know what I think about that. And then she sent, actually, one of these things, I actually need to hold on to a couple of these things. She sent this adorable Christmas ornament, which needs to go with this other Christmas ornament to go with my Christmas ornaments. She sent basically a barber cord or a cord to put your knitting stuff on, which that's perfect. Can never have too many of those. And then these, okay, so funny thing, here. She sent me a whole bunch of stitch markers and progress keepers. She sent me 4 of these progress markers. They're Christmas bulb lights or Christmas tree bulbs, and they are so adorable. The one thing that I'm super excited about in this, though, is this, which I believe is called a Norwegian thimble, but I could be wrong. I am super excited to try this, though, because I have always wanted to try one, and I haven't had one to try one. So, yes, we have a cat who's trying to break in. I gotta hurry up. So I'm super excited to try, yeah, well, all 16 pounds of him, and he pushed the door open. I thought I had it latched. Super excited to try this. I will let you guys know how that goes because, really? So let me show you the yarn that she sent me because it's so pretty. And just so that you know, like for me, when I participated in this, you had to pay $5, and it was basically to make sure that you did what you were supposed to. I don't have a problem with that because I think there are people, if you don't have some money in it, then you don't say, oh, hey, I need to get this taken care of. I don't mind that. It was $5. So, and then when I participated, I got a couple things from around here locally. I got her some dog and cat treats because she has cats and dogs. I got her, or cat and dogs, I got her some bakery items from Dorothy Lane Market. I think a killer brownie and some Laura's cookies. And then the yarn that I sent her. And the yarn that I sent her was actually out of my stash. So other than the animal treats, I didn't go out and buy yarn because a lot of what she liked is what I like. So I was actually able to give her something out of my stash, which is super cool. But this is what she sent me, and it is from a local dyer for her. It's called Nitty Kitty Bags, and it's a 75-25 merino nylon. And then I also got these 3 minis, which these might all 3 be from, well, I don't know. I don't know if they're all 3 from Blackbird Fiber Studio. Doesn't matter. I can't wait to make some scrappy stripey socks with these because they're going to look amazing too. Look at the colors. Anyway, I was so excited to get this. I was like, oh my gosh, perfect colors. Anyway, normally I don't do acquisitions or things like that because I want to focus on the community that we have here in the knitting community. I don't want to focus on all the stuff to buy. So this is actually kind of special that I did this, but these were gifts from friends, and it's part of that knitting community that we build. That's, to me, so special. The friendships that you build in anything are what make that thing special, and the knitting community is another one of those things. So the last thing I have rambled on for a way long time. This is not so much a knit snack. This is more like a This is more like a knit meal. But the last thing that I want to tell you about, 2 things actually. The first thing is I am going to be working on, it's actually out of this yarn here. I am actually going to be doing what I would call a heels study. I don't know what else to call it. I'm going to be knitting up heels in lots of different styles to look at those and see how they fit differently. What I'm going to be doing is basically, this is a good sock to show you on. I'm basically going to be knitting a heel. Where'd you go, buddy? Oh, there you are. You're okay, bud. I'm going to be knitting a heel from basically like this brown stripe down to like 5 rows past the heel. So it's basically going to be a heel cover of sorts, but it's going to be a really good way of figuring out how heels fit differently. And I have my little faux feet that you guys might have seen in the past. I'm going to be trying them on there, on the little faux feet to see how they fit. And I'm hoping to do a video or a series of videos about the heels. The last thing that I wanted to mention, keep an eye on Instagram because I'm actually going to be giving away a sweater's quantity of yarn to start the new year off. It is a sweater's quantity for most people. It's actually quite a large amount of yarn that if you wanted to, you probably could do color work with the extra skein. And it's a tweed yarn. It's really pretty, but I think it's time for it to find a new home someplace else. So I would like to share that with you guys. Watch on Instagram when I get, I want to say 500 followers, which is not very long. I'm really close to 500. Anyway, when I get 500 followers, then I am going to, hello, I'm going to pick somebody and just watch Instagram and I will have all the details up about that. So, yes. Anyway, Hemingway the large cat. This is a new set of chaos that I was not anticipating. Anyway, I will sign off for now, and I hope you guys have a great new year. I want to say, I hope that you have a successful new year in your knitting. I have had an amazing year this year, and I hope to continue it into next year. So anyway, I hope you guys have a good day, and see you around. Dude. Chunk chunk.